obviously a hard loss, but how can you use this as like a growth opportunity or a learning opportunity for all the young players on the team?
That's what I just told him. We're definitely not losers on this team, but we played like we'd never practiced and like we were scared to death in the first quarter. So that's us, I hope, learning and growing from that, because we certainly can't come out like that on Sunday. So we've got a lot to work on. But really, in my opinion, what we need to work on is our intestinal fortitude in that first half. Like, I think if we play the way we played in that fourth quarter all game, it's a whole different story. But they've got to start to realize that the game just doesn't come to them. Like, that grit's got to start from the jump. And that's something that I hope they learn and grow from this, because that's what we got to get out of it.
And then what changes do you have to make to be prepared for the Ohio State game next?
We better learn how to handle a full court press, because that's what we're going to see when we play them. And their token pressure turned us up like we were freshmen trying to break a press, which is what we are, but we can't look like that. So we have to figure out just how to be a little bit more aggressive without gambling, and being aggressive without looking out of control, because 22 turnovers is 10 too many against this team tonight. And if they turned us over 22 times, we really have to get a lot sharper before our next game.
And then just looking on the defensive side, they scored a lot of 3-pointers. How can you look to eliminate them shooting that much from the arc?
Well, a couple of those threes in the first half were players that, that we'll own them as a staff. Yeah. We said that a couple of those kids were drivers because that's what they were. But kudos to them. They made some good threes. Outside of that, I thought, once you let a team start to feel hot, and then we had to gamble a little bit in the press, which got them a couple open threes, but there was no excuse for, 5 or 6 of those threes. We should have been out there on the catch, and we just weren't. So that's something we got to get better at.
Okay, thank you so much.
Coach, besides asking about the defense and defending a three, that was kind of where I was going to go with this. But how do you, defend the three? Is it just a matter of getting a hand in the face, or are there different things that you can do to switch off and get the right person on the right catch?
Yeah, I don't think there's many teams we're going to see that are going to play 5 guards like that, right? So what we should have capitalized more on is getting Maria more touches. So as bad as it was as far as how we defended it at times, I thought they shot really well. I thought we were on a lot of them at times when they made some threes. And then I thought a couple of them were through some breakdowns, and when we gambled, and because we were pressing to try to get steals, and that's how it came up open. But we've got to be more disciplined at the end of the day. And I'll take that on me for when we get in next practice, we will be a lot more disciplined.
Yeah, it was just my last question is just more about from that execution standpoint, which is, are there parts of it that you don't want to, overreact and reinvent the wheel, when you have a team that goes out and maybe has a poor game, or are there elements where you looked at this and said, maybe we want to go back and try to change some things up where, maybe maybe this was too far ahead for what we wanted to do in the second game?
Yeah, no, I think things that we've got to clean up, the obvious things is communication. We've got to be more all on the same page out there. That's one thing. And it was a louder gym than they're used to because it's very small and it was loud, and they didn't do a great job staying on the same page. So that's something that they've got to get better doing, right? That's part of growing up. We can't go 2 for 16 from the 3-point line. And we also can't have Maria shooting the 3rd most shots on the team. And when when she doesn't have anybody over 6 foot on the other team to stop her. So that's just a little bit of offensive maturity and increasing our IQ. Because we definitely don't have a selfish team by any means, but they looked a little bit intimidated at times, and that's on me. I got to get them a little bit tougher and grittier before we get out here and play again.